All right. Hi, guys. Welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. This is your mini medium on the A1R Psychic Radio and the beautiful Moonstruck TV. I am so delighted to be here as usual, and I always look forward to Wednesdays. It's definitely one of my favorite days, other than we're halfway through the week, but to be able to do my show and to share my gifts and to meet so many amazing people from all over the world. So I'm telling you, I had posted earlier today a little bit about just the energy and just the interesting things that have been coming up the last couple days within my readings, with clients or just the energy in general. So we'll see how that kind of mixes again with tonight. But we were going to have a guest today that we have to move him to another week. So Sergeant Ernie Atwell, he is an amazing friend of mine. I met him when I was at the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash, and that event's always so fun. And I met him last year, and then, I'm sorry, 2 years ago. And then this year, as we were there, I just got to know him a little better and just so intrigued. And he's got some amazing stories and just very interesting, kind of like pick his brain a little bit more about, the spirit realm and his, experience with, being, a sergeant within Maryland, and then, pursuing his purpose within the paranormal, kind of field. So we'll have him on. Just going to be to be determined on another day, but today you've just got me. So lucky you. So we're going to go into just like our usual here. So I'm going to pull an affirmation, as we always do, and the affirmation, like you all know, or maybe if you're new, is really just it's kind of a promise to yourself. You're affirming that whatever that this card says, you'll promise it to yourself and apply it to your week, maybe just a day, however that may be. So we'll kind of see how this meshes. But so as many of you know, when I'm opening myself up throughout the day and welcoming any souls that walk within God's white light to use my energy and give me messages, or even spirit guides. I ask that they give me some validations, and they'll validate, birth dates or death dates or ages or years or whatever may be. And numbers come up. Numbers are very, very important within my readings. And what's so interesting, I don't get this number very often. And I feel like we're all going to connect with the number one. But a lot of us see, 111s, 1111s, right? And it's very common, especially when we kind of connect those to angel numbers or, spirit guide, advice or guidance. But this was different. This wasn't a 111 and 1111. This was like literally the number one. And this would be where someone, has a connection with January, or the first of a month, first of any month. This could be we're just literally at a 1 year anniversary of passing or coming very close to it. The age of one, 1 year ago. So these kinds of things, are where our loved ones in spirit or spirit guides, come in and they'll give, some little quick validations. Now, like I said, we probably all connect with the number one in some way, shape, or form. So it's kind of vanilla, as I call it, but I have to share it and just trust that it's going to connect with who it needs to connect with, and we go from there. So we'll see kind of how that meshes with the callers tonight, and if that connects to a departed loved one or to themselves, how cool it'd be, like January 1st, right? So, but with that said, the manifestation, yes, we're in manifest. The affirmation for the week says, oh, I love this. It says, I choose happy and loving thoughts. I feel good and express love for myself and others. So again, I choose happy and loving thoughts. I feel good and express love for myself and for others. And, I feel, we could all apply this in our life. And one thing I am so passionate about or adamant about, however you want to word it, is about the energy that we put out there. And, I truly feel that everything that you say and think and feel and do, that energy gets put out into the universe. And then the universe, she so graciously says, well, if you're gifting this to me, I'm going to gift it back to you. So then we get that energy back. And then sometimes it comes back tenfold. So if you're not wanting to have any of that negative energy keep coming back and that karmic flow, then I just cannot suggest enough and express enough to try to keep things as positive and optimistic as you can. I mean, we're human. We all have, days of where we're just kind of, woe is me, nothing's working out, and that's normal. I just say, sit with that, sit in the, that moment, the feelings, the emotions, be present, and then work on getting yourself out of that so that you can start to manifest the good things in your life, which I'll tell you, my friends, I have watched so many of my clients apply this kind of simple, kind of tactic, I guess, or skill, or whatever you want to call it, and have watched them grow and change and see so many blessings. So, and I've seen it for myself and my family. So it's not easy, and it's not always, like I said, rainbows and butterflies, but it can happen, and it does happen. So, and that affirmation fits, exactly, in that kind of mindset. So just choosing to be happy and, loving thoughts, and then giving that to others so that they can, pass it on, right? It's that ripple effect. It's like if you guys know much about the butterfly effect, just one little change can really change so much, and I truly, truly believe that. So I hope that you guys apply, just a little bit, pay it forward in some way, shape, or form. Okay. All right. Well, I'm super excited to see kind of how this energy today is going to apply and mesh with tonight's callers. So we're going to take my first caller, and this is Chris. Chris is from Missouri, I believe. Hi, Chris. This is Mini Medium. How are
Hi.
you?
Hello. I'm
Hi.
I'm okay. This is really hard to fit into a simple little call, but I'm kind of hopefully on the other side of a whole lot of trauma, physical debilitation, loss, and hardships. Also, immediately serendipitously, like as all my guides said it would be, sent me this man that just embraced all of these things, took me in, and we are connecting, but he's checking out, and I'm trying to build myself back and not screw it up at the same time as I'm building back everything. But I also feel like he is the future and everything that
Mm,
was supposed to be now. And the more I try, I feel like I'm messing things up because I'm not 100% or even 50%. And I'm just needing some guidance as to
sure.
anything.
Sure.
I'm
Sure.
still
Well,
got a lot of things I'm trying to work out, but not able to.
yeah.
And he's taken on, and it's checked him out. And he's
Yeah.
also slowly opening up. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, first off, I'm going to tell you, take a deep breath, my friend. I can feel your energy, and I can tell you've got a lot on your plate, hun. And one thing that it's easier said than done is, when I tell people and even myself, I always say, do as I say, not as I do. So being a little bit hypocritical with some advice, but I feel like when we, try to take on so much and all at once, and our human side comes in, and the human side loves immediate gratification. We want it now. We want all of these things to happen, immediately, or at least as soon as possible. And then that immediate gratification really ends up coming back and kind of, biting you in the butt. So I always say just take one small step at a time. And, the biggest thing too is, trusting that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. And I do feel you are that way, my friend. I feel that you are, even just listening to you and picking up on your energy. I have so many clients that come and they're like, gosh, there's stuff I feel lost. I feel like I don't know where I'm going, during this lifetime. And there are some people I sit with, and I can definitely feel that they're a bit lost. But I feel for
Well,
you,
I
Chris.
feel like I found my soul through losing my mind,
Yeah,
my body,
sure.
my mother, and my home
Oh,
and my safety.
yeah,
And this person makes
yeah,
me want all the things I've always wanted. And he initially did
sure.
too, but he's refrained and pulled back a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and what I was gonna say too is I don't feel you are lost by any means. I feel that we're just kind of a little off path, and really that's normal. It's like a detour kind of feeling. And so I'm gonna pull a couple cards really quick for you, hon, and just kind of see what comes of the cards as far as some validations of what's to come and where you're at. So let me see. Okay. Um, Now, just to check with you, as I was mentioning earlier, and you might have heard me talking about my numbers that come out throughout the day, where they're going to validate, something that connects with your loved one in spirit or you personally. And that number one was coming up, which is so weird because it's such a simple number. Yet when it came through, it had such a significance of like an anniversary. 1 year ago.
Oh, yeah, 1 year ago. There's a lot of things happened a year ago, 2 years ago, even,
Yeah,
I mean, a month ago. It's just,
uh,
and I also feel like I'm starting over. I just turned 41, but also I still want a
okay,
family. I feel like this person is it. I lost my
sure.
mother. I lost my family
I'm
due to my
sorry.
sister, and everybody else. But I feel like I'm just getting started. I'm not done. I know where I'm going. It's just trying to get my
Yeah,
footing and allowing this person to
yeah,
be the saving grace that he is, but also I want to be a good partner like
sure.
I am, but I'm just not capable of a lot of things right now.
Sure. Well, and I'll tell you, as I pulled your cards, I'm going to kind of just show them really quickly on camera here and explain where I feel they're validating, if you will, the visions and the things I'm getting for you. So, the first card you pulled, and I love this card, it's one of my favorites, but it's the Hierophant card, a very
Yeah.
spiritual card, very much connecting with your highest self, your highest divine. And then the other is the Chariot card. Now,
Yeah.
both of these cards came out of the deck right side up. So anytime cards come out of the deck reversed, they're really connecting with, or they're going to validate that you are into your shadow work, you're working on your shadow work, or you're about to. So even just seeing, the two right side up, this doesn't mean that you haven't been working on yourself and your shadow work. But I feel right now with what you're telling me fits, I mean, I say beautifully because only because you are exactly where you need to be. But it's kind of like how I put in perspective. It's when we, if you're trying to lose weight and you're exercising and then you hit a plateau and you're not seeing any progress. And then once you kind of tweak something a little bit, you'll start to see the progress. And that's exactly where you're at right now,
Well,
hon.
I am about to dive into actual shadow work. I've been exploring all of my abilities in ways that intuition
Good.
came to me when I started losing everything else, just like
Yeah,
my mother before she died, and me crossing
yes,
her over.
yeah,
So all of it has fully embodied who I am at the core. Now I'm
yeah,
rebuilding everything else, but I had
yeah,
some setbacks recently, and he's my
sure. Um,
inspiration, but also I was already headed that direction, and I want to be able to heal others eventually. But I'm
yeah.
diving into my star seed, my origins, my past lives,
Oh, I
my
love that.
abilities, my tarot,
Good.
reflexology, and I want to do Reiki eventually too. But
Yeah, I love that. Well, when you know your soul's purpose, when you're so passionate about something, then you know that that is your purpose. And even just as just kind of listening, but also some things I'm feeling, you have such a very just like cornucopia of things that I see coming. And right now, the biggest thing I feel for you, like I said, you're in this plateau moment because right now it's about just kind of reflecting on the work you've done. And then also, reflecting on the mistakes, the setbacks that you just had. And then, of course, it's karmic energy, or I'm sorry, karmic lessons. So those karmic lessons, are meant to happen so that you won't repeat them, right? Um, so just I want to tell you a couple things. I think I'm gonna just shout to my producer. I'm gonna have you stay with me, hun, for the rest of the call, um, just so I can give you some more information here. So I don't want to
okay.
have to cut you off and shorten this too much, but a couple things that I want you to be mindful of as we get into even even as we get into September. So next month. For you, you're fitting right in the realm of the year of the nine, which is what we're in right now. So, and that number nine is the last number in the number sequence, right? So
Apparently,
it's
that's my life number is 9.
yeah. Oh, no wonder why I'm seeing nines. Well, and it's a good thing, hun, because I feel for you, really, this is the year of cutting things out of your life. It's about
Oh, it's already been
letting
cut.
yeah. Well, and you've got some more, and it's good because I feel like then when we go into next year, which is the year of the one, that is new beginnings and fresh starts, right? Um, and I feel for you, it's baby steps, hon. It's just taking one thing at a time. And now when it comes to this guy that you're speaking of, um, don't I don't hmm, I'm not a big fan of using I don't like to use the word soulmate or twin flame. I feel they're used a little too much and maybe a little misunderstood.
No,
I'll
and
just
I've done my research on those shoes, and I've had all of them. So this one's different.
yeah,
He's an earthbound spirit that happens to be, I
yeah,
believe, my person for the rest of this lifetime, at least in this
yeah,
lifeline.
yeah. And that's what I love saying. I'll say, like you just said, I'll say your person and twin flame, not at all. Not even
No,
feeling one bit. So but some things I want you to just be mindful of, especially as we get into next month. You've got a very pretty big month next month, and one of them I feel is really going to um, either stall where the progress, so still staying at the plateau, or it's really going to kind of boost you, if you will, to having this next spiritual awakening that I see coming.
hopefully
And
it's the probate finalizing with my mother's stuff that
ah,
my sisters kept from me. It's the last
um,
of it should be next month.
okay, and that
It's
that
been two
sounds
and a half
about right.
years.
Oh, bless your heart, hon. Well,
and it
let
still
me
won't
ask
be.
you,
Yeah.
when it comes to mom, let me ask you too. Uh, just as you mentioned, mom, the number 12 came up. So, and 12 again would be December the 12th of a month, January 2nd, um, 12 years ago. Do you resonate with that
Um,
number with your mom?
she went into, I saved her from a pulmonary embolism. She went into the ICU the week before Christmas 3 years ago.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And then eight
We
weeks
made
later died anyway.
Oh, honey, I'm so sorry.
And
And
yeah, it's fine.
did she pass in January or was this in February?
It was February
February.
13th,
Okay.
2023.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, the even just seeing that number, as you mentioned, mom, is a big, validation of even just her presence being here and
She's with me now more than we were ever. I mean, we're closer now than we ever were.
Sure. Yeah. Well, and that, that's it's very common where the soul, as we die and our soul crosses over, and your mom got the chance to kind of do her whole, review
She,
of her life.
she
She she gets to learn through your eyes and gets to see, where
Well,
she.
I'm still carrying a lot of the burden, but I only carry all of the greatness that she was. We were at our worst before all this, but um,
uh,
it was unfortunate what happened. However, again, she came to me a couple days before she passed, and it was the strongest response I'd ever gotten intuitively. And then
yeah.
I had to cross her over, and I knew already that she'd be at peace. And the minute she took her last breath, my sister lost her mind, and she's unfortunately turned her humanity off. And we've never been close, but she divided our whole family against me. And so I've been homeless twice since then. I've had a
Oh,
million setbacks that weren't choices or whatever, but again, I
yeah.
landed here somehow, and this guy doesn't want anything. But either way, I feel like, and he says he's not worried, but and I'm not worried, but
Yeah.
I'm not okay with, um, I don't know, being disheartened.
Sure. Oh, sure. Nobody does, right? Nobody wants to go through that or feel those kind of things. And, but when it comes to him, and the journey as I see coming, one thing I tell people, I'm very honest, I'm very transparent, and sometimes it's not what you're going to want to hear, my friend, but you have got to pull back a little bit of putting a lot of, as I say, the eggs in that basket. I feel that energy is pushing him away, and I'm worried about that for you. There's a sense of where you're doing so much progress and work on yourself that, you start to vibrate at a higher frequency, and sometimes they're, especially men, they're not quite understanding of spiritual journeys and these kind of things. So when you're a high spiritual being, he'll kind of chill down here, and the more that you rise, you want him to stay within a good amount of distance. But if not, then it starts to pull away even more and more. And what will happen is you'll end up stalling your progress, and then you'll start to regress back to old ways in order for this to work. And I don't want to see you do that, my friend. I can tell you've done a lot of work already. So unfortunately, it's patience, and we're just not built that way. Humans, we just don't have patience very well. Um, but I'll tell you one thing that, and I don't live like give me exact dates. So, but I'm going to tell you by the end of the year, so even November, December, you definitely have some pretty amazing open doors of opportunity coming for yourself that helps you, to have more of that confidence and more of that, self esteem, and feeling like, okay, I've got my footing, I'm grounded. And that energy is what's going to help him to, come
Right.
into the
And
picture.
I know that. That's
But
everything I want.
good, good. Well, I know that I got to wrap up, hun, but I hope this helped you. I want to make sure I spend as much time as I could. And, I've been in your shoes back in a while ago, and the spiritual journey is so worth it. Just make sure that you remember to take care of you, okay?
Yes.
Hey. All right, my friend. Well, you take care. Have a beautiful night, hun, and I'll be sending you lots of good love and light, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome, hun. Okay, bye-bye. All right, you guys, man, these calls go by so fast, right? But what a beautiful reading. And, we're all on this kind of crazy journey together, but life's a beautiful struggle. So I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.